Hello. Uh, I'm planning on doing a regular video blog, so this is my attempt at being consistent. I do have ADHD, and that can make it a bit difficult to be routinely doing things. I'd say, but I can try. I can try. This is my effort. So I'm gonna talk about what's happened to me this week. Just talk about some stories, I guess. I went across the country to look after a good friend of mine. Well, a friend of mine. A friend of mine. Let me take you back a bit. So what happened was she was in supported living, and I met her when I went into supported living, and she was moving out the time I was moving in, but we stayed in contact because she seemed like a nice person. The supported living ended up kind of stabbing her in the back and just kicking her out when she really needed them, and and she was really devastated about it, and made a lot of fuss to me about it. But I figured she's struggling and she needs help, so I thought I'd look after her. So I stayed friends with her, and we weren't particularly close, but yeah, I thought she was a nice girl, so I lent her some money sometimes here and there, and she always paid it back, even if it was a bit late sometimes. But yeah, and then more recently, what happened was she was struggling with her mental health and asked me to come help her. And she lives in Horton, I think, which is not far from Heathrow. If I'm living in Reading, it's like a good couple of miles. It's a good distance, and for me, not having a vehicle. Well, I mean, I've got a bike and a skateboard and stuff, but like not having a car makes getting over there really difficult. So I decided that I would take a coach, because I couldn't afford the train fare. So I jumped on a coach. She was really fretting. She was saying how she feels like killing herself, and she's really struggling, and she needs someone there for her. And I got really emotionally invested in this story that she was telling me. So I went over there, and then when I got there, it was like quite hard to get hold of her, and I kind of was a bit worried that that might happen before I left. So when she first messaged me, I messaged her back and said something like, "Where are we meeting then?" And she wasn't really clear. She like left a big space of time before she got back to me. So I thought, if I'm going across the country, I need to be prepared. So I decided that I would just leave it. But then she messaged me back later and said, "Look, I really need your help." Um, so I took a coach, and I went to Heathrow, and then I took a bus from Heathrow to a little place called Datchet, which was where she said she was. And I got her to go on What Three Words, and send me some messages about where she was. But she sent me some messages, and I managed to track down the locations, but I was there a little later than when she sent them. So she was saying how she was on the run from ambulances and police and stuff, and I said to her, like, you should probably hand yourself in, but I mean, by the time that I'd got there, like she was already talking. She started talking about these things, so I thought, well, maybe I can come and kind of de-escalate the situation. Uh, but yeah. Then I tried to meet up with her. She was saying that she was gonna drown herself and that she was wet and she tried to drown herself before. Uh, and um, I've nearly drowned. It's a scary thing for it to. It's a scary thing to happen. I wanted to meet a mate of mine who lives out on a boat. Changing the story a little bit, but well, taking you to another story. But I don't know. I want to tell you. I want to tell you. I'm excited. Um, yeah, but going back to the other story, basically the girl wasn't where she said that she was, and she had me running around looking for her in the night, climbing over fences. Um, it was just long and tiring, and I ate a bit, but I didn't really eat particularly well that day. And then I went on a like 2 hour coach journey, 2 or 3 hours. It was a pretty long journey. And then I was running around in the dark after someone claiming to be getting chased by people. She said that some people. She started changing her story. She was first talking about ambulances and police. Then she started saying that there's like a group of people who are trying to get her or something like that, and one of them had a knife. And I thought, like, I mean, I guess it's scary, but if you're talking about killing yourself, like maybe you want to be running towards the people with the knives because they can sort it out for you. But I know that's a bit horrible. But anyway, it just I didn't really put two and two together at the time. But yeah, I couldn't get hold of her, and I said to her, "Look, I've just come across the country to come see you. Not massively across the country, but a good distance. And like I say, I was really tired. I've been climbing over fences and stuff, and I was like, look, you need to. I'd already said before I left that I might need to stay over at her house because I had nowhere to sleep that night, and I didn't know if I'd be able to make it back because the coaches stopped running at a certain time. So I said to her that I might have to sleep over, and she said I think she said that was fine. And then when I got over there, she was messing me about, and I've got the chat log, but I don't want to look back on it really. I could. Maybe I'll have a quick look. Oh yeah, and then she said I was so tired at one point. I was like, I just need a chalky biscuit and a marshmallow. I was so worn out. I was like, I was going through hell and stuff for this girl, trying to save her life. But she didn't really need saving. I don't think she was just seeking attention, maybe. But she sent me a picture of her with a knife to her throat coming from off the camera. But it looks like she's posing with the knife herself, and it also seems very strange that she would, be allowed to take a photo while someone's threatening her with a knife. But, I don't know. And I said to her, like, if you don't help me, I'm gonna have to sleep in a bin tonight. And then she sent me the knife picture and said sleep in a bin. So after that, I didn't sleep in a bin, but I thought I might have to. I went back to the airport and waited a couple of hours, and not hours and hours, but like waited a while, and then managed to get a coach back at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, that's what happened with that. I also picked up a monkey, which was in the place where I climbed over the fence, and it had been left in the fence, and I thought, like, I honestly thought maybe it's the girl's. I'm not gonna say her name in case she gets mixed up in trouble, but I'll show you the monkey. Here is the monkey, a reminder that, sometimes that I can be a bit of an idiot, I guess. I don't know. It's to remind me to not go around trying to save the world all the time when I've got to worry about myself as well. I think that to some extent I was prepared to look after myself, but I did put myself really out of my way, and it was hard. Anyway, so that happened. When did that happen? Let me just see what day that happened. That happened on the 2nd, so it's the 9th today. So that happened a couple of days ago. Then the next thing that happened was I went to a social group this week, which was quite nice. I've been trying to attend there because I feel like it's got like a really nice energy, and I've been to social groups before and they tend not to really feel right with me in some way, shape or form. So I like this group, and I don't know why, but I feel like I get on really well with them and I can open up and stuff, so I like it. So I've been going there, and they met up with me, had a chat with people. It was just good. It was just a good part of my week. Then yesterday I went to a writing course, so I want to be doing more writing. I mean, I love creative output, so I want to be able to express what's going on inside of me. I figured writing might be a good way of doing it, so I attended a writing group. There's a few more classes going on for the next couple of weeks, and yeah, hopefully I get better at getting ideas out of my head and into my mouth, which is then projected on and passed on, and thenceforth and etc. So yeah, that's been my week. So I just thought I'd give a little update. I'm hoping that I start doing projects and stuff as well, like electronics and things like that, but with the move going on at the moment, it's not realistic for me to be doing that. But I just thought I'd give you an update. So there's my hopefully weekly blog upload.